Welcome to the deep dive. You're here because you want to get smart, fast, and, well, that's what we do.
Exactly.
Today, we're looking at something pretty specific.
Yeah.
Can doing just 10 push-ups every single day for 30 days actually change your body?
Right. It sounds almost too simple.
It does. We've been looking at a YouTube video from Fit Wrecked Body that makes some, well, pretty bold claims about it.
Yeah, they suggest you can see a real transformation.
So our mission today is basically to sift through that video, pull out the main ideas, and see what the potential benefits and maybe drawbacks really are without getting lost in the weeds.
Let's dive in. They talk about this consistent minimal effort maybe having a big payoff. We want to see if that holds up.
Okay, so 10 push-ups a day. Before we get to the 30-day results part, let's just quickly recap. What is a push-up actually doing to your muscles?
Well, fundamentally, it's a compound exercise. That just means it works multiple muscle groups at once.
Okay.
The big ones, the primary movers, are your chest muscles, the pecs in the front of your shoulders, the anterior deltoids.
And the triceps too, right? Back, the arms.
Exactly. And the triceps. Those three are doing a lot of the heavy lifting, so to speak.
And a key point the video makes, which I think is important, is accessibility. No gym needed.
Absolutely. Just you and the floor.
Yeah.
That's a massive advantage for consistency, isn't it?
Definitely.
And it's not just about, getting bigger muscles there. The video also mentions endurance. Doing them regularly helps those muscles work longer before getting tired.
Which probably helps with other stuff too, not just more push-ups.
For sure. Daily activities, other exercises, that foundational endurance helps across the board.
All right, so the challenge itself. 10 push-ups every day for 1 month. Simple enough. But the video stresses how you do them. Proper form is key.
Oh, absolutely crucial. They outline it pretty clearly. You start in a high plank position, hands just a bit wider than your shoulders.
Okay.
When you lower your body down, keeping your elbows sort of tucked in towards your ribs, not flared way out.
Right. Go down how far?
Until your chest is close to the floor. Then push straight back up to the start. That's 1 rep. Control is important.
And the video suggests tracking progress, which makes sense, even just mentally checking it off.
Yeah, building the habit. And they also mention, if 10 gets easy, maybe add 1 or 2 more. Listen to your body.
Gradual progression. Seems logical.
Exactly. Now, we mentioned the chest, shoulders, triceps, but the video points out it's actually engaging more muscles than just those.
Right. It's not just an upper body thing then. What else gets involved?
Well, your core is working constantly. Your abs, the deeper core muscles,
Right.
they're all firing to keep your body in a straight line, like a stabilizer.
Oh, so that stops your back from sagging or your hips from hiking up.
Precisely. That stability is essential for good form and for protecting your lower back.
Makes sense.
The video also mentions muscles around your shoulder blades, the serratus anterior, which helps your shoulder mechanics, even lower back muscles, hip flexors, and your legs are involved in holding that strong plank position.
Wow. Okay. So it really is more of a whole body activation than you might think just looking at it.
Definitely. It connects everything.
Okay. Let's get to the exciting part, the potential transformations the video talks about. What results might someone see after 30 days? First up, posture. How can push-ups help with that?
This is a big one, especially now with so much sitting. The video explains that push-ups strengthen the muscles in your upper back. Think rhomboids, mid-traps.
The ones between your shoulder blades.
Yeah, when those get stronger, they can help pull your shoulders back, counteracting that typical slumped forward posture we get from desks and screens.
So it helps balance things out, tight chest from sitting, stronger back from push-ups.
Kind of realigning things, yes. It's a good point they make.
Okay, next benefit claimed. A stronger core. We touched on this, but the video really emphasizes it.
Yeah, because your core has to be engaged throughout the movement. Doing that daily, even just for 10 reps, consistently works those abdominal and stabilizing muscles.
And the video says this leads to better functional strength.
Right. It's not just about aesthetics. A stronger core helps with lifting, twisting, even just standing comfortably for longer. It supports almost everything you do.
Makes everyday movements easier and safer. Got it. What's next?
Increased upper body strength. This one's maybe the most obvious.
Yeah, you're working the chest, shoulders, triceps every day. They're bound to get stronger, right?
Exactly. The video suggests you'll likely notice you can do more reps, or the 10 reps feel easier over the 30 days. That's a clear sign of strength gain.
And they hint at maybe trying harder variations later on.
Yes, which we'll get to. But the core principle is that consistent, progressive overload, even small, builds strength.
Okay, then there's whole body muscle definition. What does the video mean by that? Surely 10 push-ups won't make you ripped all over.
No. Probably not Arnold Schwarzenegger level. But the idea is, while the main definition improvements will be in the chest, shoulders, and triceps.
Because they're doing the most work.
Right. But because other muscles are engaged too, the core, the back, etc., it contributes to a general improvement in overall muscle tone, rather than just isolating one area. You might look a bit tighter overall.
More defined in those key upper body areas, mostly?
Yeah.
Okay, that seems reasonable. What about calorie burn?
The video is realistic here. 10 push-ups itself isn't a massive calorie furnace.
Right.
But those calories do contribute to your total daily energy expenditure, your TDEE. Over 30 days, it adds up. If weight loss is a goal, every little bit helps towards creating that necessary calorie deficit.
So it's a small piece of a bigger puzzle, not a magic bullet for weight loss.
Exactly. A consistent contribution.
Yeah.
Then an interesting one, protection from falls. How does that work?
Yeah, I was curious about this one too. The video talks about improving neuromuscular coordination, basically better communication between your brain and muscles.
Okay.
This can lead to better balance and faster reaction times. So if you stumble, you're maybe quicker to catch yourself.
Ah, so it's about the coordination and reaction aspect.
Yes. They do note it's not like, say, heady squats for bone density, but the overall fitness gain supports things that help prevent falls. Coordination, stability.
That makes sense. It's functional strength again. What about balance and flexibility?
The video suggests the movement itself through the shoulders and chest can improve the flexibility or pliability of those muscles over time, a better range of motion.
So just the act of moving through the push-up helps maintain or improve how far you can move those joints.
Seems to be the idea, which links to the next point, increased joint support.
How so?
Well, by strengthening the muscles around the shoulder and elbow joints, the rotator cuff muscles, the triceps, biceps, to some extent, you're essentially building a stronger support structure for those joints.
Like scaffolding.
Yeah, exactly. Which could potentially reduce the risk of injury, assuming good form, of course.
Good form being the key phrase there. Okay, and the last benefit mentioned, cardiovascular health. That seems a bit less intuitive for push-ups.
It does, but the video explains that if you perform the 10 push-ups relatively quickly, one after another, it can get your heart rate up.
A short burst of intensity.
Right. And those repeated short bursts, day after day, can contribute positively to cardiovascular fitness, making your heart a bit more efficient.
Interesting. So even strength moves can have a little cardio-crossover benefit.
Seems so. Now, it's not all positive. The video does, importantly, mention some risks.
Yes, crucial to cover those. What are the potential downsides?
Shoulders are number one. The video highlights they can be vulnerable, especially if you have pre-existing issues.
Right. Repetitive motion, if the form is off, that could lead to impingement or rotator cuff problems.
Yeah, flaring elbows is a common culprit there. Puts the shoulder in a bad spot. Really need to focus on technique.
Absolutely. Form over speed or quantity, always. What else?
Back pain is another risk mentioned. Usually comes down to poor form again.
Letting the hips sag.
Exactly. Letting the lower back dip down or arching it too much puts a lot of strain on the lumbar spine.
So keeping that straight line from head to heels we talked about is vital for protecting your back.
Totally. And the third risk.
Hitting a workout plateau. This is pretty common with any exercise you do identically every day.
Your body just gets used to it.
Yeah, your body adapts. It becomes super efficient at those exact 10 push-ups, and eventually you stop seeing the same rate of progress. The muscles aren't being challenged enough anymore.
Which is the perfect lead-in to the next part of the video, variations, to avoid that plateau.
Precisely. Mixing things up is key for continued progress and hitting the muscle slightly differently. The video covered 4 main ones. First, wide push-ups.
Okay, so hands placed wider than shoulder width. What's the main effect of that?
It tends to shift a bit more emphasis onto the outer chest and the front of the shoulders, those anterior deltoids. Good for shoulder stability.
Gotcha. More shoulder focus. Next.
Diamond push-ups. Or close grip triangle push-ups, lots of names.
Yeah.
Hands are close together, right under the chest, forming a diamond shape with your thumbs and index fingers.
Oh yeah, those are tough. They feel very different.
They really isolate the triceps. If you want to build strength or definition in the back of your arms, diamonds are very effective.
Definitely feel those in the triceps more. Okay, number 3.
Incline push-ups. This is where you put your hands on an elevated surface, a bench, a sturdy chair, stairs.
So your body's angled upwards. What does that target?
It makes the push-up a bit easier, generally, but it tends to put more focus on the lower part of your chest muscles and the front deltoids. It's a great starting point or variation.
Easier and hits the lower chest more. Okay. And the last one. decline.
Decline push-ups, yeah. The opposite, you elevate your feet instead of your hands.
So your body angles downwards? That sounds harder.
It is harder.
Yeah.
It shifts more emphasis to the upper part of the chest muscles and the shoulders. Requires more core stability, too, to keep that straight line against gravity.
Upper chest focus. So these variations, wide, diamond, incline, decline, there are ways to keep challenging the muscles differently once the standard 10 get too easy.
Exactly. They prevent plateaus, work different parts of the muscle groups, and just keep things interesting, which helps with consistency, too.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, our deep dive into this Fit Ripped Body video suggests that, yeah, even a small daily commitment, like 10 push-ups, it can potentially pack a punch.
It seems so. Across strength, posture, core stability, maybe even a little bit for heart health, as the video lays out.
But the big takeaways really seem to be consistency matters most.
Day in, day out.
Proper form is absolutely non-negotiable to get benefits and avoid getting hurt.
Couldn't agree more.
And eventually, you'll likely need to progress, maybe using those variations to keep seeing changes.
That sums it up well. It's about smart, consistent effort.
So it leaves us with a thought, maybe. Considering how these small daily actions might add up, what other seemingly tiny habits could you maybe introduce or explore to boost your own health and well-being? Something to chew on.
Definitely food for thought.
Thanks for taking the deep dive with us today.